Chaba, who is U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey, released a statement saying the mayor of Newark, Ras Baraka, committed trespass and ignored multiple warnings from Homeland Security investigations to remove himself from the ICE detention center in Newark, New Jersey this afternoon. He has willingly chosen to discard the law that will not stand in this state. He has been taken into custody, and in caps, as you see, no one is above the law.
I'm not letting you cannot push. You cannot push. You cannot push. You want Congressman, get over her.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast, and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts, and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring, and George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
Welcome to the MC Too Tall Show. I am your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host, MC Too Tall. And if you're a liberal at this point, if you're still trying to cling to those liberal pearls at this point, then you have to come to grips with reality that you are nothing more than dirt poor white trash being taken advantage of by sleazy elitists that are in the pockets of foreign oligarchs and dictators like those found in Russia and North Korea. At this point, if you're still embracing liberalism, that is exactly what you are. Case in point, with this piece of trash mayor. I don't know anything about this mayor, but the one thing I do know about him makes me hate this man. Yes, hate is a strong word, and I feel that to the utmost degree for the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, Ras Baraka. Now, Ras Baraka committed break-in and entry, unlawful entry, trespassing. So, to defend illegal trespassers that have come into the country, the bottom of the barrel who've come to rape, pillage, and kill, he decides to commit trespass, an act of trespassing, break-in and entry, unlawful entry, on an ICE holding center, an ICE detention center. This is where they gather the aliens, the trespassers, to send them back where they came from. Or where they come from is a hostile country, the president of El Salvador will gladly accept them, especially if they have a criminal record, in that state-of-the-art white dungeon that he has in his country. It's well lit. The walls are bright white. A lot of sunlight coming in. So it's like a sanitary dungeon. And it still sucks because you don't have your freedom anymore. And I think most of the people in there are there to serve life. And if you come from lands that won't accept you back, that's where you will go. Now, according to my calculations, if you come from these lands and they're not accepting you back, that's because you've committed a crime in your homeland. Like regular civilians of all these foreign countries are accepted by their homelands. But some of these countries, criminals are not accepted back in their homelands. And you could get mad at them all day, but what would you do if you were the leader of these countries and you knew that there was a president that could be played for a sucker like Joe Biden, and you could dump all your criminals into his country? You'd probably do it. And your country would love you for it. The regular civilians that don't want to be raped and killed by these criminals would love you for it. And yes, you'd be kind of a prick to not give a shit what happens at the hands of your country's criminals in foreign lands. And yes, that is kind of prickish. But if you're an elected official, it'll still get you some votes, I tell you. It'll still get you some votes, just to be honest. So that's why, thank goodness for people like the president of El Salvador. But that's neither here nor there. Because this Ras Baraka, the great mayor of Newark, who brought two legislators with him, and him and these two women were going to storm the ICE detention center and he's claiming he's going on a tour, but with his hostile entry into the joint, he was obviously trying to bust all those people out. All those people being detained at that ICE center, with the hostile way that he entered, he wanted to leave with at least a few of them, if not all of them. All of them. Let's not be fooled. Let's not be fooled by what the elitist is trying to do here. The oppressor is trying to do. And make no question about it. Make no mistake about it. Mayor Baraka is an oppressor. I am of an oppressed people, and people like Mayor Baraka are oppressors. Barack Obama is an oppressor. Talking bobbleheads like Al Sharpton on MSNBC, well, they are oppressors. Michelle Obama is an oppressor carrying an iron staff. And you have oppressors of all different shapes and sizes. Letitia James, Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Reid, Anna Navarro, not to be confused with Peter Navarro. Peter Navarro is one of the good guys. But guys like Cory Booker are the bad guys. Guys like Ras Baraka are the bad guys. People like Billie Eilish are the bad guys. Not Scott Hall, though. Scott Hall was good people. Except in his stint when he was playing Razor Ramon, then he was the bad guy. But you get the idea. You have a lot of bad actors going on here. A lot of bad actors running rampant wild, trying to stir the pot, trying to pit people against each other, trying to make you believe that something that is guaranteed to make our streets unsafe and our most vulnerable members of society unsafe won't do that. And that is where the problem lies. I'm sorry, but if somebody with a murder rap is released in the streets, the likelihood of the murder rate going up is very high. You let a serial rapist into the streets, the statistics of sexual assault will go up. And so there you have it. There you have it. People like this character, this Ras Baraka, still betting on the wrong horse, still choosing the wrong side of history. They have this nasty habit of choosing the wrong side of history. Just like that stupid that senator, Chris Van Hollen from Maryland. He has the gall to try to spring this person that's a gang member that assaults women. But meanwhile, a woman from his own state who was sexually assaulted and murdered, leaving 5 innocent children without a mother. And this happened at the hands of somebody cut from the same exact cloth as Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who this Senator Van Hollen was trying to defend and stick up for. Meanwhile, God only knows what persons of ill repute this Mayor Baraka of Newark was trying to spring out of that detention center. Let ICE do their job. If it was up to me, I'd have an ICE agent at every police precinct throughout the country to vet to see if these people are legal citizens or if they're illegal, if they're trespassing into the country. Okay, so if you get arrested for a crime, and the rules are you don't have to be convicted for that crime. If you get arrested for a crime and you're already in the country illegally, you cut to the front of the line for deportation. You right away you're a candidate for deportation. There is no due process for people who are in the country illegally. There's legal and illegal. Why can't you understand that? There's legal and illegal. People don't want to accept that you can't just show up to another country and all of a sudden you are that country's constituent. You don't automatically show up and you're a citizen of that country. There's a process. And the process is is more real than the process of switching from a man to a woman, than the process is of switching from a woman to a man. And it's more attainable than transitioning from a man to a passable appearance female. I mean, there are people who pull it off, but if you look like you're about to scream, "This is Sparta," and kick a Persian messenger off the cliff, then I can't call you a woman. I refuse to call you a woman. If you look like the Spartan king from the movie 300, I can't call you a woman. If you look like Aquaman, I'm not calling you Wonder Woman. And if you're in the country illegally, the laws that protect those same rights as a U.S. citizen don't exist for you. And I said that in plain, perfect English. The laws that apply to citizens do not apply to trespassers. You don't have the right to keep and bear arms if you're in the country illegally. Hell, you don't even have the right to free speech if you're in the country illegally. Yeah, you know, it's like, as messed up as it would be for somebody to say that Adolf Hitler was a nice man, if they are a U.S. citizen, that's their free speech, that's their right to say that. But if you're visiting from a foreign country and you say those same exact words verbatim, and somebody catches you and they're an ICE agent, they nab you and deport you, you deserve that shit because you didn't watch your P's and Q's. If you can't act like a better citizen than the actual citizens and stay off the radar since you're here illegally, you deserve to get deported. You don't have the same leeway and wiggle space as real citizens. And you know what? Just like people get insulted when they hear the words real woman or real girl, we're going to make it a thing to completely overuse the words real citizen. Because that's even less subjective than the real woman terminology. If you could believe that. Because that's cut and dry. Are you a real citizen or not a real citizen? Are you a real citizen or just a trespasser? And Tom Homan said there'd be days like these. Pam Bondi said there'd be days like these. Kristi Noem said there'd be days like these. And apparently, Ras Baraka thought they were joking. Guess they weren't. And Alina Habba is right. She's spot on to the letter. Nothing even to add to that. Nothing further to add to that. What she said in that X post, verbatim, word for word. And there you go. So we're going to conclude this episode of the MC Too Tall Show. Respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati. Follow and share this wonderful content. Don't be gross. Stay strong, keep kicking that slang. Hiss your boy in the building. Hip-hop legend, recording engineer, and underground rock and roll hero. MC Too Tall. I'm not an idiot that nobody listens to.